kill flows, Nintendo Switch. I'm on some shit that's monumental, magical, artificial intelligence. Jotted down on scribes, the last of a dying breed. They wonder how I survived. Turpentine, turn the tide, go.
What's going on, everyone? This is your boy Ash, the man bringing in the noise, and we are here to talk about solo leveling. Now, solo leveling has recently ended, in which it was about time. All good things must come to an end. But however, I'm here to deliver that beautiful review for you. But before I go ahead and get started, I do want to give a spoiler alert. There are going to be some spoilers in this review, but I will do my best to avoid that and give you overall a great review. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about this solo leveling. Solo leveling follows the story of Sung Jin Woo, who starts off as an E-rank hunter. Humans are granted powers when a gate started to appear. Based on your level, you are given a rank from E to S rank. Since Jin Woo was an E rank, that puts him at the bottom, of which they consider to be the weakest. So that's kind of crazy. You know, he an E rank and they automatically consider him the weakest. No good, man, no good. However, that never stopped him from going on missions, because the reason for him doing missions was to pay for his mother's medical bills. She fell with some type of illness. There was a mission though, which was supposed to be a simple mission, which went south very quickly. When they went into this room, they seen these statues, man, shit just hit the fan. But however, everybody died in this mission. However, Jin Woo was the surviving victim in that mission. So ever since then, his world has changed. He woke up to a message inviting him to take on a mission that would train him, or he would face a horrible penalty. So this right here, he takes on this quest to set foot on his journey, which takes him to being the most fearsome hunter. Sounds spicy. So let's talk about this a little bit more. But however, a lot of people compare their story to a few materials. Like, people are saying that they call this is what Sword Art should have been, and some even call it the ordinary strong protagonist overpowered story, which I disagree with both of those statements. Solo leveling shows us the bringing, the uprising of the great Jin Woo, but it has a purpose. For instance, he did missions at first for the sole purpose of restoring his mother's health. Since she had a disease that the world couldn't help her with, she was stuck in a coma until Jin Woo found a cure after he attains a certain level of his abilities. Remember, he went on a mission to train or whatever, and once he figured out certain things about how his new quest and powers went, he was able to harness his abilities to restore his mother's health. Now, before we get to know the powerful Jin Woo, it was steps into his power. They gave him a chance and he didn't waste it. He overcome the challenges and he set out not just to be OP at the beginning, but he worked just as hard as any respectable anime character, and it showed. Each arc showed us his progression on his journey, a new goal that he always set for himself or the situation that he is in. This world that was evolving, the gates, you know, the missions, the hunters, the monsters, his allies, servants, and other monarchs really opens up this world to what Jin Woo was thrown into. And it's a really entertaining experience. Like, Jin Woo, like, coming up was really the best part about it. Like, seeing him, you know, grow, seeing him get strong, and seeing even battles to where he seemed like he wasn't doing like that good, but he made a way. And I'm sorry, it paid off to the point to where at the end Jin Woo was a badass. And I'm sorry, like, it was good. Now, when you talk about Jin Woo's development alone, it's worth giving praise to the series for, because again, his development as a protagonist was well worth it, and to me that was a great focus. But there are others worth mentioning, like He-Han, Jin-Hee, Jin-Hoo, and even Il-Han. Characters surrounding Jin Woo was a great support for his involvement in the world of hunters. But there's a complaint that does get me, is that some hunters wasn't really focused on like that. Some of the main cast felt forgotten at a certain level or story that was met. I do see where they might not be suited for the situation, so maybe, you know, as time goes on, that character was unnecessary, especially dealing with different types of environment. But however, the focus on characters should have been more so on maybe in a more supportive, you know, role, and maybe that could have worked. But however, they didn't. They made Jin Woo eventually be sort of like a lone wolf, especially if you pay attention to the last arc and how things was handled, you will kind of understand that statement. So, but in the end, which was definitely awesome, but it still felt like, you know, they gave us the lone wolf, but it was like the sacrifice of other developments that could have happened. So, unfortunately, it's kind of like a mix on this. I mean, I do love the fact that they really focus on the protagonist, Jinwoo, and being that you see him ground from the bottom to the top. But it's other characters that is there that I do, you know, and wish to still seen as more of a supporting role for him coming, you know, the final days of the manga. So that's just my opinion. Now, overall, I did enjoy myself reading Solo Leveling, enjoying the world and the journey of Sung Jin Woo. It was about 179 chapters. Now they did a 0.5 because there was more of a message that the author wanted to give off, which is understandable. But in this situation, I felt fulfilled. Like, for it to only be out for 3 years, it felt great to know that it was some weeks that we got more than one chapter. Now it is some weeks that we did get a skip, but however, they still gave us multiple materials in 1 week, and sometimes it's because they skipped, or maybe they just had, you know, the materials ready for us to go. And I really felt like the dedication that comes with, you know, with this material that they given us was pretty freaking awesome. It's unclear if we are going to get an anime, which I talk about in another video, and I will leave a link in the description. But the story, the journey of Jin Woo left me more but understandable that, again, all good things come to an end. And they could have been more effort into developing the characters, in which was stated that, you know, they felt like it's a sacrifice to give off that lone wolf of Jin Woo towards the end. But even with saying that, Solo Level delivers with a great story, a great plot, and great action, and a strong protagonist. I highly recommend this webtoon to anybody, and if I had to score it, man, it get the 9 out of 10, you know? But other than that, again, thank you guys for definitely tuning into this review. Leave your comments below what you guys thought about Solo Leveling. You know, what's your guys' score for it? I'd like to know all that. Leave it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.